We have two trees on the reservation right now we consider the grandfather and grandmother maples. Those trees are probably 200 years old each. A lot of the maple syrup program is centered around the grandfather maple. The grandfather maple, in my opinion, is the oldest living organism on the reservation. Our first tapping of the year is at the grandfather maple, and it's blessed through a pipe carrier every year prior to the production of the syrup.
There's a lot of good things about the maple tree, not only the sap. Instead of just looking at the tree, maybe you'll have a better understanding of what that tree does for us. It's our way of saying thank you to the Creator and all those spirits and everything that was put here, but it was all given to us as a gift. And that same is our way of saying thank you.
Maple syrup was an essential part of life for the native people. It was the means of their survival and of nourishment of both physical and spiritual aspects of the community. Zisbakwet, maple syrup, is gathered in the spring when the maple trees thaw. The sap begins to run and the trees are tapped. Traditionally, birch bark containers were used for collecting the sap. The maple syrup was then boiled over the Pottawatomi, the fire, in deep tree trunks or kettles.
That's quite amazing to me.
Maple syrup is a traditional food, a first food, and a staple within the tribal community.
When I started with the tribe in 2006, there was no syrup program. The tribe was fully aware that this was a traditional lifestyle, an identity program, and we needed to reinvigorate it. One of my first jobs here at the tribe was to develop a syrup program. How we did that is we first identified all of the maple trees on the reservation, and we began tapping them in a very crude method. We boiled syrup on a stove in a pot. Our first year we made 1 gallon of syrup. And I tell you, through all the years, the 12 years of the program right now, we've never been so proud as that first gallon we made. From that 1 gallon we created in 2006, now we've got a full commercial kitchen. The majority of syrup is produced in the sugar shack with a commercial grade evaporator. The entire facility is inspected quarterly to ensure that we have a high quality syrup. And we produce about 50 gallons a year. We did generate a lot of community support and council support. One of the things we try to do in the program is keep it community driven. We don't want it to be a government program where staff is paid to strictly manage the program. We would like it to be more community driven through tribal membership, through volunteers. In the past, we have had some very strong volunteers, and we hope to continue that into the future. One of the things with the program is it's a dual program. Number one, we have a traditional maple syrup boil where the syrup is boiled in an open kettle outdoors with firewood by membership, and that is considered more of a medicinal type syrup. It's used strictly by membership. We have a goal of 50 gallons of syrup a year based on our current stock of maple trees. Sometimes we're less, sometimes we're a little bit more. We hope through carefully monitoring our existing maples, planting new maples with staggered ages, and acquiring new lands with sugar bush, we can increase the amount. We really don't have enough syrup to sell on the open market. We only have enough really to satisfy tribal needs, which are honoraria, gifts, and events. To grow the program, we need additional maple trees. We're, no pun intended, we're pretty well tapped on our amount of trees right now, so we are actually planting. By planting, we're ensuring the 7-generation philosophy the tribe abides to. When we plant maples, we tend to plant maples that are 5 to 10 years old, and they'll produce somewhere after about 25 years. So We may be about 15 years out on all of the trees that we're planting now. Each tree can produce anywhere from 10 gallons to maybe 100 gallons of sap a year, depending on the weather, depending on the individual tree. Probably the main thing we're facing with challenges to the syrup program is climate adaptation. Concerned with our trees, that's why we are looking to monitor our existing trees, plant more trees, and purchase land with additional sugar maple on them. Every year since 2006, the syrup program has culminated with Flapjack Friday. Flapjack Friday is on Good Friday every year, which is a floating holiday. The maple syrup not only provides nourishment for the community, it also provides a cultural identity and a reminder of our traditional life ways. Maple syrup has never been an easy product to come by. It was always took a lot of effort. It took the community, and through Flapjack Friday, we celebrate it with the community.
The maple syrup tradition was essentially lost for generations within some Native communities, but with the help of our tribal elders and the environmental department, this process has again been restored. The tradition is very sacred within the NHBP community. Binds the community together when we tap the trees, when we gather the sap during the boiling process, and when the final product of maple syrup is created. It was a blessing given to the people by the Creator.